Hello, I'm Precious and welcome to another podcast session with English with Precious on English with Precious. A couple of days ago, I got an interesting question from a student of mine. She wrote, "Let's go home," or "It's high time we went home." And why do we use the past tense of go here? This is a very interesting question, which is correct. It's high time we went, or let's go. The first thing to say is that they are both grammatically correct. They are both examples of accurate English. This is often true in English, that there are different ways to say more or less the same thing. Which one you use will depend on the situation, who you are talking to, and sometimes the way you like to sound, your own style of speaking. Let's look at each of these in a little more detail and describe a situation where they could be used. First, the structure let's, which is the common short form of let us. This is followed by the infinitive of a verb without to, and is usually an informal suggestion. When it's a suggestion, it is often followed by the tag shall we. So in question tag, when you have let's or let us as the subject, usually the question tag that goes with it is shall we. Imagine that you are in a party, it's quite late at night, you're tired and you have to go to work the next day. You're there together with a friend, and because it's late, you want to go home. You might say to your friend something like, "Let's go, shall we?" You want to leave and you want your friend to come with you. "Let's go, shall we?" It's not really an order to do something, but a polite way of suggesting that you want to leave. If you say, "Let's go," that is more of a polite instruction and suggests that you have made the decision that it's time to leave, and you expect the person you're talking to do what you say. It could be a parent talking to his or her children. "Come on kids, let's go." However, often there is no real difference between "let's go" and "let's go, shall we?" It really does depend on your tone of voice and the relationship you have with the person you're speaking to. Now, the other phrase from Orine question was, "It's high time we went." This is quite an unusual structure because it has what looks like a simple past form, went, the past tense of the verb to go. It's high time we went. What is unusual about this is that this sentence is not talking about the past at all. There are a number of phrases all using the word time where this happens. We have the example, "It's high time we went," but you could also say, it's high time we went," or "It's about time we went." And you can use a continuous form as well. It's high time, or it's time we were going. It's about time we were going. And it's high time we were going. The past form in these examples is, I think, the subjunctive form of the verb. The subjunctive is often used when we talk about unreal or hypothetical, that imagined situations. You can use, or you can see it clearly in a conditional sentence like this. If I were you, I'd change my job. That's to say, if I were you, I would change my job. Normally, you wouldn't expect to see the form were following the pronoun I. You expect I to be followed by was. But this is only true if the verb form is in the past simple. However, I were, as in if I were you, is the correct form of the past subjunctive, which is used here because obviously I am not you and I can't be you. So it's an imagined or unreal situation if I were you. And that's the same form that's being used in the expression about the word time. However, to be honest, I wouldn't worry about trying to remember this or trying to work out if a sentence is subjunctive or not. You can remember the time expressions I mentioned above as fixed expressions, and they all have more or less the same meaning. They are quite formal in their use and are stating that it's time that something happened. A parent might say to a child, for example, "It's time you went to bed," which means I want you to go to bed. In the party situation, you could say, as I mentioned earlier, "Let's go." But you could also say, "It's time we went." You can imagine the person who said that might be looking at their watch and worrying perhaps about catching the next taxi or cab, okay? And if the situation is a little more urgent, we use the expression, "It's high time," which means it's very important that this happens now. It's high time we left. Come on, or we'll miss the bus. Or again, a parent might say to an older child, "It's high time you found a job, young man." So, in summary, "let's go" is an informal suggestion or a polite instruction. "It's high time" is a formal statement that is important that something happens soon or that something happen now. And now, it's about time I finished this answer. And thanks for listening. Please like, follow, subscribe and share my videos. Go to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube page, English with Precious, and also like and follow my posts on my on my Facebook page, English with Precious. Until next week, goodbye for now. And just one more thing. If you've got any question related to English language, please don't hesitate to send it to me. Go to my Facebook page, English with Precious, drop your questions there, and I'll take great pleasure in answering all of your questions, every bit of it. You can also reach me on WhatsApp on +234 9076576305. You can reach me on WhatsApp on +234 9076576305. Until next time, goodbye for now.